Neighborhood Restoration and Beautification Commission. Start with call to order.
Lucas Richardson.
Here.
Jermaine Sullivan, absent. Kathy Grabowski.
Here.
Sarah Harless, absent. Jess Stallings. Mary Kay Wilkosh. Kayla Willem.
Here.
Okay, public comment on agenda-related items. Approval of the agenda.
I'll approve the agenda.
Your second.
Yeah, second.
All in favor, voice vote. Aye.
Aye.
All against? None. Approval of the meeting minutes from the last meeting in August 5th.
I'll approve those.
Is there a second? All in favor, voice vote. Aye. All against? All right, as per usual, I have the purpose statement on there. We don't have to go through that, but just to refer back to, so we can move on to unfinished business. The city banner update, so I have received word from city manager that they're supposed to be, if not already done, replacing those poles right there on Maple Street.
Oh, nice.
So I've been kind of waiting until that kind of gets taken care of, so we don't put a banner on something that is just going to cause more.
And refresh, who's putting those banners up again?
So we'll have to decide which ones I have to tally up the amount that we paid for, because I think we only had a portion of them being put up, but I think we have less that are going on the highway.
Okay.
So we might be able to have the contractor do those.
Okay.
But if not, then we'll have to talk to DPW about doing that, and it would only be a couple.
Okay. So those should be going up within the,
Well, we have to communicate with consumers still.
oh, we do, for consumers.
So I'm trying to hopefully get that done before the winter.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Mural process, so still haven't heard anything on the process documents from the city attorney on that. And I've reached out to the city manager a few times about it, and I'm not sure where that stands. I don't know, Chief, if you know either, but,
I haven't heard much from the city attorney.
okay.
There is, maybe we could even look at downtown Alpena. They just had a bunch of murals put up, if anybody goes down to their website to look. They've got a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think they have like 8 of them or so.
Okay.
So maybe something.
Might be another resource to maybe supplement ours.
If you have questions or something.
I don't think there was questions. I think it was just being reviewed. And he had something already put together, so
Okay.
I'm not sure what's
Because
going
I
on.
think we talked with them in February.
We did.
Yeah. So, it'd be nice to have it all orchestrated so that we can do something next year.
I'll bring it up again tomorrow when I meet with the city manager. On that note though, Jess, Jermaine mentioned to me that maybe you were gonna reach out to Corey again to get a mock-up.
I've tried to get a hold of him a couple times. I'll try again and see.
Okay,
So last I talked to him, he was in like South Carolina or something, but that was quite a while ago.
Okay.
He was there visiting, so
I gotcha, okay. Still probably an opportunity though?
I think so.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that'd be good. Okay, and I guess on that note, this, I guess moving on to the master plan discussion, this whole list that I gave you guys, is the stuff that we talked about in the work session, stuff that Kayla sent me and stuff that Jermaine sent me, so if you had more information from, that you wanted to add to this, this is just kind of a running list, and then I was gonna make a map of when we kinda got a little further that has everybody's recommendations and ideas on it. So we can kind of go through some of these if you guys want to.
I feel like this kind of was though, right? Because we were just like brainstorming ideas and we were writing them down.
Yep. Yeah, it's just kind of combined now. It was everybody's individuals. Some of the stuff, Kayla, that I wanted to talk to you about, on your map, it had a lot to do with like kind of our past projects where we were doing a lot of the sidewalk cleanups and brush. I think a big part of that is going to be reviewing the you know, any additions or deletions that we can do to the noxious weeds ordinance or the sidewalk ordinance.
Ben had already.
Yeah, and maybe not so much, doing cleanup projects, you know, I think we're, from the last couple meetings, we've talked about trying to be a little bit bigger and, try to find a solution rather than fixing some of those little problems that people.
And the recommendations for the parks, I mean, is that something that you're writing them a letter or just talking to?
Yeah, yep, this was the list that we had from the spring.
Right.
So we were gonna just summarize a letter to make sure that there wasn't anything that we could do to help with that, or, yeah. So Jermaine wanted me to share that with everyone, and if there's anything to add, then we could add it, but if not, then we can send that out, and be done with it.
Yeah, I already did Mac Park. I finished it.
So talking about some of these other things, so what I added on here that we didn't talk about, in the work session, what I thought might be a cool idea, on Memorial Drive, some volunteers a couple years ago, planted dune grass in that little area by Family Dollar. What's everybody's thoughts on maybe a recommendation on the highway? It seems like we have a lot of like noxious weed problems on the highway. And with the highway getting reconstructed, what about like proposing like a dune grass program on the highway? And then you could like, I mean, that would be kind of cool, right? You'd have the whole highway line with dune grass, and then maybe you could even make it like a beach route. You turn down First Street, and then maybe people wanna.
Instead of flowers?
No, not instead of flowers. This would be before the flowers.
Oh, okay, okay.
My thought was, you know, there's a lot less maintenance
Yeah.
with the dune grass, you know, and if we have the problem with noxious weeds already, and even the flowers, even Blossom Boulevard, I mean, you really see the areas that get maintained, right? And then you really see the areas that don't. And then people just go out there and fix it, but.
Right. I think that, I would agree. I would think that, you know, maybe condensing Blossom Boulevard and adding some
Yeah,
be more attractive, because there's a lot of places that aren't very attractive there.
right. We just have a kind of an opportunity to recommend what we want with the highway coming up, and, because it's all gonna be different than what we see now. So it might be an idea. I know they spitballed a couple of things in the community meeting about maybe shared use paths for like bike paths and rollerblades, and I don't know, just a couple thoughts there, I guess.
So is that something that we have to recommend to someone, or just something we put on our agenda?
I think that's just a thought right now. I don't know how we'd go about doing that, because technically it would be in the MDOT right away, so I don't know if they would even allow it, I don't know, but I think the goal was just putting all of our thoughts down on here, and if we didn't want to pursue them, we could take them off.
Yes.
And Kayla added, there's an area of the guardrails by 12th Street there that are pretty overgrown. To answer that question, I think that the city maintains those, but
Okay.
we can,
Yeah, I
that can
wasn't
be
sure.
something that we can reach out to if those are not looking great, we
Yeah.
can.
I mean, just like coming into town, just kind of looking at the broad area there, that's all you see is all the weeds coming over the guardrails coming in. I'm like, that's really the only bad looking thing coming in, so. Yeah, I just wasn't sure if that's
That by
something.
Goodwill in that direction?
Yeah, the guardrails up that way.
So I think, in the next meeting, you know, I'll take whatever comments that we have from today and add to this, and if we're good with this as our working list, then can make a map and keep that list, and then, I just lost my train of thought. I think in the next meetings, we should probably start reviewing those ordinances again. Because I know we combed through them to see if there's any just like overall revisions, but I think a lot of this stuff can be addressed in some of those ordinances, like these are the sidewalks or the blight ordinance that we can start adding or recommending to add to. So I'll put that on the next agenda to review those. And maybe we can, that would be probably a good meeting for the enforcement officer to be at anyway.
See if Toby can be our next meeting. Write a note down for Toby to be here.
And I guess it's
Toby to
probably
be here
good
next
that
meeting.
Teresa's here, because I added this next agenda item, the short-term rental discussion, just because I thought, you know, maybe our commission, if we had any thoughts on, you know, putting, I don't know, any policies that the NRBC cares about for the short-term rentals, since we're starting to develop a program for that. So I don't know if there's anything to talk about there, but just kind of introductory.
I wasn't prepared for this.
No, I know. Oh, you're good.
Put me on the spot for it. But as you know, we went to city council. We had been asked months ago about this. Actually, that started about 2 years ago. Tracy from Housing North and I are just kind of putting stuff together. So any kind of input that we can get from anybody, just a quick email, you know, stop in and see me, that you'd like to see, or if you have questions about. We're kind of putting a question and answer thing together too, a little bit more detailed from what council had given us. But, you know, we're gonna take certain areas are not gonna be counted. So, I mean, that was kind of a big issue, question first for people, but is there anything else that I can answer or help with?
I don't think so. I think I just wanted to kind of bring it up, and
Sure.
you're developing the program and policies, and
Yes.
if there's anything, because it seems like some of the past things that we've done in the city for volunteer projects have been, you know, overgrowth and sidewalk issues. So it seems like if there's anything there that we could implement into that policy, that would be.
You know, a good thing that I'd really like maybe all of you to review would be, we put together, it's called a Good Neighbor Guide. And on that guide, it talks about your animals, where you have a 6-foot leash, you know, kind of what our ordinance is, about garbage, where that needs to go, and others, fireworks, fires, just being courteous of your neighbor. So those are gonna have to be posted, required posted. Also, they're supposed to be giving that anytime that they rent a unit. So maybe review that. Maybe I will send all of you that page, so then all of you can look at that, tell us what you would like to add to it. I think that would be a really good one, so I will do that.
Okay.
It's called a Good Neighbor Guide.
I guess another thought on the short-term rental policy stuff is there any thought to making sure that a property that is gonna go through the short-term rental process, like if they have already outstanding blight issues or any enforcement issues, like could they like just not get their license or?
Yes, they would not get their permit, their
Permit, yeah.
rental permit, exactly. And Jerry will be the one, and also Toby will be the ones doing all of those short-term rental visits and inspections on those. So yeah, anything that's outstanding or anything that's, yeah, they would not be getting or receiving one, just like it is for regular rentals, same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry to put you on the spot.
Oh, no, that's okay. All right,
Any other questions for Teresa? No? Thanks, Teresa.
yep. Can I just stay up here, because the next one?
Yeah.
Public comment?
Public comment, go for it, yep.
All right, so what you have in front of you, I wanted just a quick kind of walk through the chill grant timeline. This is hot off the press. I quick whipped it together this morning at 8 o'clock, so bear with me. There's a few things that I do want to improve or correct on, but that's what we're here together to do. So again, this is the chill grant, housing improvement, the chill livability program. So basically the timeline, the check boxes are, we'll go for the first one. It says timeline. Release to the city the time frame for the application process, and I want to put a period there. The chill grant is only for the city of Manistee residents. So I want to change that. Next, it says application. Application will be released on Monday, September 23rd, 2024, 8 o'clock a.m. The application will be available on the city's website, senior center, library, West Shore Community College, and City Hall. Now, can you think of any other places where we might be able to put, 15, 20 applications? Any suggestions of where else we could make it available for anybody? Those
5 cap.
5 cap. Okay, yes, wonderful. Where else? Anybody? Okay. The next class. So application assistance will be offered on 2 occasions. A class will be held at West Shore Community College on Wednesday, October 2nd at 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. and on Friday, October 4th at 12, and that should be capitalized, p.m. to 1:30 p.m. at West Shore Community College. So what Tracy and I want to do is literally have a class where we're going to be up front and walking through each page on the screen with everybody. They can walk through it. We'll have a good, hopefully a great turnout, get one of the large classrooms just right down here and go over that and have it at a lunchtime and at nighttime, so convenient for people who work or have different hours. The Q&A then, contact myself or my administrative assistant, Kelso Kelly. She works part-time, but still have her as a second backup for phone calls and emails. And then also it would say contact, and I would put the Community Development Office, Teresa Waldo. The next collection data, gather the required information that the application is asking for, no originals, an S after that. Make copies of documentation. The next one would be review data. You have 3 weeks to gather this information and review the material. And then I'm going to put ask questions. So that would be a good time for them to do that. And then submit. Application is due on Friday, October 11th, 2024, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Drop off or email. Drop off at City Hall lower level. I'm not sure if that's what I want to keep lower level or not. Then it says no earlier than 8 o'clock a.m. because the doors do not open until 8. This submittal process is a first come, first served basis. Completed applications will be taken no earlier than 8 a.m. and no earlier than 8 a.m. email, and then the email address. So with that, with the lower level, we would like to share share the space with Mary, have it in the police department. So what is that actually called? Is it L1 or lower 1?
Just the police department lobby, I think, really helps not confuse people.
Okay, instead of lower level, police department lobby, okay. And then, again, what our plan is, Tracy and I be behind the glass where Mary sits there, and then just receive the application, have a received time, date stamp. We both initial it, flip it over, next person. So it's not gonna be a time where they bring it up to you and say, oh, I don't know if I have everything, or, oh, what was this? I don't understand this. It's not that. This is the time that we're bringing it in. Because again, we've had almost 200 people question, ask. We have email lists, we have phone calls, we've been contacting people, so this is gonna be huge. We think we're gonna have probably a line of people. So that's why it's just gonna be a quick, hopefully, turnaround, and then we're gonna be there all day until 5 o'clock when City Hall closes. So that will be the day. And anybody, that's one thing I might need to add, anyone could drop off the application, doesn't need be the person applying for. So let me put that in there. So what other questions?
So what date are you gonna need us to approve the?
Not until later. After those get submittal, so maybe, there was a date. Oh, shoot, we were gonna ask you guys to have a special meeting in October. That's what it was.
Right.
I think the 3rd Monday in October, whatever that date is when we wanted to start reviewing those with all of you. That was something that I needed to ask you, if you guys would be willing to do that.
We can just have our October meeting or whatever, and then decide when you actually
Okay.
confirm that, so we don't
Yep.
put something on the calendar right now.
Sure, absolutely. Yep, and I will do that. And then, lastly, we will not be reviewing applications on the day of Friday, October 11th, 2024. This day will be for submittals only. Please see us ahead of time for any questions you may have, or please join us for the class on filling out the application. So do you think that's simple? Do you think that's enough information? I'll go back, revise this. It'll go out to you guys first, just a quick proof it again. After a couple hours, I don't hear from you, I'm gonna send it out to everybody, because once everybody finds this out, they're gonna be chomping at the bit. Where's that application? We want it, so.
Yeah, I think you're doing above and beyond for people that,
Yeah.
you know, trying to put a checklist together. I think it's good.
Okay, great. Well, and again, just call me if you think of something, or think of something on the way home in the car. Hey, maybe we should do this. We'd love to hear from you. So it's a work in progress for us. Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks, Teresa. Any other public comment? Yep.
Seth Pratt, 355 Second Street. So it really isn't a comment as much as maybe a suggestion when you were asking about locations for the Chill Grant. I don't know if anybody's talked to DHHS, which is in the West Shore building, but maybe they have some clients that they're working with or something that might be interested in that. And I don't know if that's also maybe something to ask if they would attend your workshop, because sometimes they have clients that they work through, so they might be able to help assist with that process so that they can kind of be the buffer so that they don't have to necessarily go through Teresa if those people are educated on what it takes. So that was only a suggestion that came to mind, but thank you for all your hard work with the Chill Grant, and I think it's a great opportunity for citizens. I know as a council member, people contact me weekly about it, so I'm excited for this opportunity for our community. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, go to the order. Kayla, got anything?
No.
No. Kathy?
Comments?
Yep.
I have a comment. I'll just say a couple things and then I'll lay it to rest. I was very disappointed when my project for painting fire hydrants was squashed. I had called there and talked to a couple of them, and I had gone there too and talked to a couple of the city workers, and they're very polite, very nice, ordered me the paint, told me about how to scrape them, the whole thing. And I was really excited about it, and then all of a sudden it was like, can't do that. Because it'll be a union problem. The reason I had this idea from the get-go was because I had read an article about neighborhood fire hydrant adoption, where neighborhoods are taking care of their own fire hydrants as far as the shoveling and all the maintenance. And I thought, oh, maybe that's something we could put on our agenda to help with. And I just don't understand how you would grievance a volunteer. And the other thing was, there's hundreds and hundreds of fire hydrants. I wasn't gonna do them all. I was just going to give them a little hand, a start. And I just think the whole thing falling apart is nonsense. And now I'll lay it to rest.
Harry, do you have anything? Chief?
Just a couple things, just to clarify the path. If we decide to come up with an ordinance or propose changes to an ordinance, that should go to, we would put a final draft together and we would suggest that or recommend that to the ordinance committee, who would then present that to city council. I think it's, the ordinance committee is made up of 3 council members. Just clarifying what the path is. And then number 2, getting some direction from this group in your plan here. I know we have, it says adopting vacant house ordinance or revised blight ordinance. Is there an appetite is it just adopting vacant house ordinance or vacant buildings?
I think we talked about vacant buildings, it's probably just
Okay.
the notes.
I'm just getting some direction. I see some communities have different things. So just getting some direction as I collect those sample ordinances. And then next meeting, I'll have Toby Van Ness here. I'll have him bring a ordinance enforcement report and just present to this group.
Do you think that could be something that could be a regular thing that he could do, is come to these, or no?
We would have to change his schedule, so let me talk to him. He works Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, so that's a conversation I can have with him.
Okay. Just eliminating you as the middleman, I guess, maybe on some of those things, if we.
Well, I am the liaison, and that is my employee, so I think it's probably appropriate path now. So let me just talk to him and see what we can figure out.
Okay. Sounds good. Mary, you have anything?
No, thank you.
All right, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Second.